Hello fellow movie buffs! Today I'm going to share with you the top 10 best apocalyptic movies you can find on Prime Video. There are so many movies on my list, each of them will drag you into a different apocalyptic scenario, and you will be holding your breath from beginning to end. But the real surprise is the special bonus movie waiting for you at the end of the list. Even though this movie was widely acclaimed at the time of its release, it didn't get the appreciation it expected and took its place on the underappreciated list. It's not your usual apocalyptic story. When we say the end of the world, we're talking about an experience that will really shake humanity to its core. I'm not exaggerating. It's a masterpiece that will literally keep you glued to your seat. So don't forget to watch the video to the end. Let's dive into the apocalyptic worlds on Prime Video. Number 10 on our list is Open Grave, a movie that will make you feel the mystery and suspense in your bones. The story begins with a man opening his eyes to an open grave filled with a pile of corpses. With no memory of his own identity, he tries to figure out how he got there and what is going on around him. At the beginning of the movie, both the character and the audience have a big question mark in their minds. Everything is shrouded in mystery, and clues are slowly revealed. As you watch, you are prepared to experience small shocks as the character's memory comes back. It's perfect for those who love suspense, because as the movie progresses, the tension increases and the whole plot draws you in step by step. If you like mysterious atmospheres and stories that keep you on your toes, Open Grave is for you.
Report! We've got a leak!
The core's heating up. The mission's over.
I'll tell you when the mission is over. The radiation is going to kill us all.
In ninth place is a movie that takes us into the tense waters of the Cold War. K-19, The Widowmaker. Starring Harrison Ford and Liam Neeson, this movie is based on a true story and is about the nuclear crisis of a submarine belonging to the Soviet Union. In this Cold War era movie, a technical malfunction on the submarine K-19 puts the crew and the world in grave danger. As the captain of the submarine, Ford's character must ensure the safety of the crew and perhaps all of humanity. As the danger of nuclear leakage increases moment by moment, the dilemmas and desperation faced by the characters draw the audience in. You will feel the claustrophobic atmosphere of the submarine environment, the tension within the crew, and the danger increasing with each passing second. Now it's time for our 8th movie, Monsters. This movie is an interesting production that brings a different perspective to creature-themed movies. The story takes place on the US-Mexico border after giant creatures from outer space invade the world. But instead of showing the majestic attacks of the creatures, this movie shows the impact of their presence on the world and how humans adapt to this new way of life. At the center of the film is a journalist and a young woman trying to cross the border safely. Despite its low budget, Monsters draws attention with its creative visual effects and atmosphere, the psychological journey of the characters rather than the creatures, the suspenseful soundtrack, and the stressful scenes will definitely keep you on the edge of your seat. If you are looking for something deeper than creature features, Monsters will definitely please you.
I look at each of you, and I see the marks of this long and terrible war.
We've come to number 7 on our list, and here we have the sequel to a legend we're all familiar with, Terminator Genesis. This movie breathes new life into the Terminator franchise and reboots the events in an alternate timeline. The story begins in 2029 with John Connor, the leader of the human resistance, trying to stop Skynet. However, as a result of moves to change the past, the old and new timelines intertwine and unexpected events take place. The return of Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie creates a great nostalgia for old Terminator fans. Moreover, the action scenes and visual effects are quite impressive. If you love the old series, or if you are one of those who can't give up action, you will find everything you are looking for in this movie. Get ready, because this action-packed journey between the past and the future will be dizzying. Our next movie is Pandorum, which is ranked 6th on our list and will be appreciated by science fiction fans. The story takes place on a ship on an unknown mission in deep space. When two crew members wake up from their deep sleep capsules, they don't remember anything and think they are alone on the ship. But as time passes, they realize that they are not alone and that they are in grave danger. Pandorum keeps you glued to your seat with the tension and the struggle for survival in a closed environment. Also, the themes of loneliness, paranoia, and isolation created by the space environment are very well felt in the movie. As the story progresses, the horrific events the crew experiences and the mystery of the movie will draw you in even more.
Ready?
Fire!
Judgment time.
Let's finish this.
We move on to number 5 on our list, Dredd, an action and sci-fi thriller that tells the story of Dredd, known as the Judge, who alone enforces the law in a post-apocalyptic world. Cities are divided into gigantic structures, and crime is at an all-time high. Dredd is a character who fights criminals alone, playing the roles of court, judge, and executioner all at the same time. In this movie, Dredd and his new partner struggle to survive in a giant building ruled by a crime lord. Dredd, which attracts attention with its action scenes and dystopian atmosphere, is a production that will be watched breathlessly. I think if you choose Dredd, you will not regret stepping into his world. And here we come to number 4, Apocalypto. Directed by Mel Gibson, this movie takes place during the collapse of the Mayan civilization. Our protagonist, Jaguar Paw, is forced to flee his attacked village and begins a struggle for survival. Apocalypto offers the audience an intense action and suspense experience, while at the same time bringing the cultural characteristics of an ancient civilization to the screen in a very realistic way. Another must-see movie for history and adventure lovers.
It lasts forever. The population must always be kept in balance.
I said sit down!
We're into the top 3 of our list, and in 3rd place, we have a very interesting dystopia, Snowpiercer. The story takes place inside a train carrying the survivors after the world is covered in ice. Each car of the train represents a different social class, and the story is about the rebellion of the poorest class in the train's queue. With each distance traveled along the train, the rebels and the events that take place reach the richer classes, and the theme of class conflict is explored in depth. Our next movie is The Mist, which ranks 2nd on our list. Based on the work of Stephen King, this movie tells a survival story full of creatures in a mysterious fog that covers the town. While the townspeople are trapped in a supermarket, they try to discover what's inside the fog. The elements of suspense and horror in this movie are so palpable that I felt like I was trapped in my own house. It was especially fascinating to watch the psychology of the characters in fear and panic, but I can guarantee you that the ending of the movie will definitely stay with you for a long time. Here we are at the top of our list, 10 Cloverfield Lane. This movie begins with a young woman trapped in a bunker after an accident, questioning the credibility of the man who claims to have saved her. They are told that there is an attack in the outside world and that it is safe to stay in the bunker, but the reality may be different. With elements of suspense and mystery at their peak, this movie manages to keep the viewer constantly on their toes. If you like character-driven thrillers set in a closed space, don't miss this movie. Here's our bonus movie, Children of Men. This movie is really special. In a dystopian future, humanity is facing an infertility crisis and no one can have children. Society is slowly collapsing. Despair, chaos, everything is going down the drain. Our protagonist Theo, a man in his own way, is on a mission to bring a young woman, perhaps the last hope of humanity, to safety. This movie affected me so much that I was really torn between a deep concern and hope for the future. Not only the plot, but the atmosphere and camera angles created by the director make you involved in the scenes. You almost live the action with the shooting technique. Even if you don't like the dystopian genre, this story will make you question what it means to be human. Here I shared the best apocalyptic movies on Prime Video. I hope this list will help you find new favorites for lovers of the apocalyptic genre. Thanks to your comments and likes, our channel is growing and we are reaching more and more fellow movie buffs. Choose which of these movies you've seen, or what should be the topic of the next video by going to the poll in the fixed comment. Also, let's talk about the topic of the next video in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so that we can be together again for new movie recommendations. Have a good time, and see you on the next list.